Hello and welcome. Today we are going to talk about Gemini ascendant. Okay, Mithun Lagna wala loko. Gemini ascendant. Sorry for the inconvenience. I am having some kind of tonsils, so I will be little slow today. So talking about Gemini ascendant, Mithun. So when we talk about Gemini ascendant, Mercury is the lord of Gemini. So the first house is governed by Gemini itself. So here your body tendency depends so much on Mercury, salt, sodium, intellect, spontaneity. Okay, and see there is a difference between the Mercury of Gemini and the Mercury of Virgo. Mercury of Virgo focuses on what we say the feminine aspect, because Virgo, see the constellation of Virgo and see the constellation of Gemini. Gemini is all about partnerships. Gemini is all about connections. So you will see a male and female together in the Gemini constellation. So it's everything about partnership. So the Mercury over here needs partnership. Okay, whereas the Mercury in Virgo does not need partnership, and it is based on what we say independent nature of intellect. Over here, the Gemini aspect of Mercury is your intellect and your spontaneity, and what we say Mercury is also the spiritual connection. It is also your speech. Okay, so what matters is the Gemini Mercury is well combined with what you say opposite gender. Okay, so opposite gender people would be naturally drawn towards you. That is because you have very good communication abilities and how to learn opposite sex by talking with them. Okay, so Mithun Lagna people are very good at what you say communication skills, especially with opposite gender people. But it again depends on the placement of Mercury. If it is placed ill placed or it is debilitated, you are going to face some troubles. But if it is exalted, you are going to be fluent in few languages. You will be knowing more than 2 to 3 languages, and you will be good communicator also. Then Mercury is also chilies. Okay, so chilies are also good for you. Green chilies are good for you. Salt is good for you. Sodium balance is very good. That is why you have a very sharp memory. Okay, and you would be having a lot of you would be remembering a lot of birthday dates, and you would be good with dates. Okay, because you have very spontaneous memory. So Mithun Lagna is very good in terms of memorizing. Okay, until and unless if your moon is debilitated, then you might face some problems. Otherwise, wherever your moon is placed except debilitation, then your memory grasping and remembrance power will be very high. Okay, so I won't use the word grasping, but the temporal lobe function, that is the remembrance, would be very high. So now the first house is Gemini, second house is Cancer. Okay, so now talking about Dhanesh, second house is all about your profits, how you save money. Okay, so one advice I would give to Gemini ascendants is always give your profit and money to your mother. Okay, since the lord of Cancer is moon. Okay, if you give your money and profit to your mother, it will increase your profit, it will increase your Lakshmi, it is going to save your money. Okay, so whenever you get some payment of business, whenever you get some payment of what you say, you get your salary, or you sell something and get some cash or funds. Okay, whatever you get in your life, give it to your mother. Okay, even if you want to open your business in with the name of your mother, it is also very good. Okay, so you can do like that, that you can open a business where your mother is a primary bank holder. Okay, and you can handle the business itself. But if your mother is the holder of the business on papers, okay, then your business might flourish. Okay, still we have to see the position of moon in the D10 chart and also in the B1 chart. But overall, in the 90% of the cases, it is always going to work. So if you are a Mithun ascendant, if you are Gemini ascendant, okay, if you are Gemini rising, give your money, give your profit to your mother, or just use your mother's savings account to put money in it, or you can use your mother's name on your business account. Okay, you might open your business with mother. Okay, and you are also very fortunate if you open some food related business. Okay, food related business, water related business, packaged food. Okay, import and export of any food items, agriculture items, anything like that. Also, all those items which are used in agriculture, like fertilizers, tractors, okay, some grains. Okay, so very good in terms of agriculture, food land. Okay, a restaurant is also good, cafes are also good. Okay, so these lines are very good for you. Okay, now third house over here is listed to Leo. Leo represents your father. Okay, Leo is also Sun. Now, Sun being the lord of the third house is not very good, not very bad. I will say a neutral situation. Okay, that is because it is the Guru Upadesh of ninth house. So, in terms of your beliefs, in terms of your core values, in terms of your values, it is very good. You will be respectable in nature. Okay, you would like to be respected. Okay, you would also respect your father. Okay, but the problem here is sometimes your speech might not be very good. Okay, you might have some harsh word, you might use some harsh words. Okay, and now it's like when you are explaining the bitter truths of life. Okay, you might not be sweet and polite. Okay, so there is a problem in being polite. Okay, otherwise your communication is perfect, but you need to attain some politeness and sweetness in your communication, in your words. So the selections of word is right, but the tone, you should work on your tone, and you should always take care that you should not speak egoistically with anyone. Okay, especially with your father, you should have control over your tongue with your father. You should not have verbal fights with your father. Okay, that all can be an issue with Gemini ascendant. Next, we also have to see that where the Sun is placed. Otherwise, if the Sun is debilitated, then there might be some communication issues with your father. If your Sun is not debilitated, okay, you might be communicating very good with your father. But if any hot planet like Jupiter or Mars is placed along with Sun, okay, then you might have some verbal disputes and anger issues with your father. If Mercury is there with Sun, it is balanced, and you would be speaking you will be speaking a balanced tone with a balanced tone and balanced politeness and sweetness. Not very sweet, not very harsh. Okay. So if Mercury is with Sun, Buddha Yoga is there, then it is going to nullify the effect. Okay. Now we are coming at number 4. Now we are coming at number 4. Okay, so number 4 is the house of your family. Is also represents your bedroom. It also represents your dining room. Okay, and it is about your family. Now over here is the 6th house of Virgo. Okay, see here there is problem when Mercury is there in the 4th house, or any zodiac with the lordship of Mercury is there in the 4th house. There are some internal political disputes in the family. I would say your relatives might be stubborn, or your relatives might do some kind of politics in your family. So it is very easy that people talk bad about your family. Okay, or there is some internal disputes in your family regarding property, land, finance. Okay, or there might be some ego clashes in the family. So I would suggest that if you are living in a joint family, you should go into a nuclear family. Okay, see when there is moon or Venus or any zodiacs whose lord is moon and Venus in the 4th house, I would suggest the person should live in the joint family. But when Mercury is there, okay, when Mercury is there, then I would suggest that the person should live in the nuclear society, because there is a lot of political background in the house which I might think would be disruptive in your career. Okay, they like crab-like mentality would be present in your family life. Somebody would be disrupting your ideas. Okay, somebody is pulling someone's leg. Okay, and like small bitterness in someone's mind, ego clashes, jealousies, something or some problems might occur in your life. Okay, especially related to your relatives. Now, if Mercury is placed in a feminine side, those disputes and troublesome relatives would be from your maternal side. If Mercury is placed in the masculine side, then those troubles would come from your paternal side. Okay, and if Mercury is placed in either Virgo or Gemini, then those disputes might come from both the sides. Okay, so it is two-way around, and you must take care about political disputes. You must take care that people should not lure you. You should not gossip internally in your family. Okay, so don't gossip about anyone of your family to some another member. And even if you are living in a nuclear family, you must take care about how to maintain secrecy and privacy of your family matters. Okay, don't let your family matters get glorified in the world and get glorified to other family members, especially those who are not living with you or those who are like your cousins, brother-in-laws, sister-in-laws. Okay, don't let it go away from your house. Keep a bit of secretive in terms of your family matter. So keep your family matters inside your fist and don't share it with too many people. And I would suggest even internally in your family, do take care about sharing things with everyone. And check your Mercury whether it is in masculine feminine side to know which side of your relatives might be a troublesome issue. Now coming to the fifth house. Fifth house is again the house of you say your workplace, your reputation, your children's, and it is denoted to Libra. Libra, the Lord is Venus, and when we talk about Libra, the first thing comes in your mind is spouse, okay, and opposite sex, and emotional bondage, okay, and since Venus is the Lord over here, so I would say it is going to give you dual result. Why dual result? Because basically Jupiter is very good in the fifth house. Okay. Now, if Venus is there, there would be a lot of emotional connection with your son or daughter. Okay. So what happens is you might be too much of emotionally inclined with your children, which might spoil your children, and you might spoil your children by giving extra love. You might be giving them all those things which they don't deserve, and they might what you say. And if Venus is placed good in your chart, okay, then they will reciprocate your love. If Venus is not placed good in your chart, then they won't reciprocate your love. So what is necessary to see that whether your Venus is placed rightful or not rightful. If Venus is not placed rightful, so what happens is you give extra love to your children, and your children would go to a bad path and they won't reciprocate your love. You will be extra emotional with your children and they would not understand it, and they would they will be rude with you, they won't understand your emotions, they would take you for granted. All those things will happen if your Venus is not placed rightly in your chart. If your Venus is placed rightly in your chart, you would have a very good connection with your children, they would reciprocate your love, you both will have too much of combination and chemistry. You might got along with the best chemistry with your children, and your children would respect you, give you love. Okay, so we have to see if Venus is debilitated or not good. Okay, then the connection with your children is going to be spoiled. But if Venus is good, okay, if Venus is good, then always increase your Venus, and you will have a lot of emotional connection with your children. So this is a dual aspect, and totally depends on the placement of Venus. Sorry. So again, it is about Venus. That was the fifth house. Fifth house is also your reputation, your work, and so you would be known as a kind person in the society. You would be also known as a good-hearted person in your society, and your reputation would be good if your Venus is good. If your Venus is bad, still your reputation will not be bad. You won't be defamed. You would be just called emotional fool sometimes if your Venus is bad. If your Venus is good, you would have a very good impression, like a kind person. Okay, so in terms of impression, you might, even if it is negative, it is going to be an emotionally overly emotional person. If Venus is good, you would be called as a kind person, so not very bad in terms of reputation. You might also work with some cosmetic agencies. That is also very good for you if you are working with cosmetics agency or fashion brands, entertainment. Okay, these are sectors where you can work openly, and if you are doing some job, okay, not business, job. Then talking about the sixth house. Sixth house is the house of illness, enemies, and diseases. Now, over here, sixth house is Scorpio, which is not very good. If Scorpio is in the sixth house, your enemies would empower over you, and they would be very poisonous in nature. First of all, Scorpio enemies are not good since they are very aggressive in nature. If your Mars is not placed correctly, okay, if your Mars is debilitated, then your enemies might harm you. Okay, see, if Mars is debilitated in the sixth house, okay, there is also assassination yoga in your chart, so you must take care about your enemies first of all. Talking about diseases can be eliminated through increasing your Venus if it is positive, or Moon if it is positive. Okay. Also, we have to see the placement of Mars. If Mars is good, you might be an advocate or working in court or something like that, or you might be a surgeon or a army officer. If Mars is bad, the problem here lies is your enemies would be sufficient enough to empower over you, good enough to suppress you, and they might not be hideous in nature. Okay, they might come forth to your face and try to devalue you, try to defame you, try to hinder your mental peace, try to try to create disturbances in your life. Okay, so the problem here is if you have too many enemies, okay, then you have to take care that you don't have to indulge into fights, verbal fights, or any kind of fights. Okay, because it is more likely that the opposite person is going to suppress you. Okay, so you should follow some non-violence theory in your life. Plus, if Mars is placed very good, if Mars is exalted in your chart, okay, then what you should do is that you must worship Narsimha, or you should eat honey every day in the morning to reduce the ill effects of Mars. This will help you to pacify Mars. And I would say, talking about illnesses also, it is very good that you should always start your day with honey. Okay, always start your day with honey for Gemini ascendant. For Gemini ascendant, always start your day with honey. And you should also eat some vegetables which are roots in nature. Okay, the vegetables which grow like roots, they grow underground, like potatoes, sweet potatoes, onions, garlic. Okay, all those things you should eat very well. Okay, because they are going to help you. They are going to help you to eliminate your diseases. Okay, but technically, if your Mars is not debilitated, you might face problems of illnesses and enemies, but you might overcome it. If your Mars is debilitated, then it is a serious issue in your chart, and then we have to take a deep analysis of your chart, and we have to see what we can do. Sometimes either Venus or Moon or any planet which is placed in, I think, 8th house can help if you increase those planets. But again, we have to refer your chart whether the Ardhala system can give you a remedy gemstone, or whether Venus or Moon is going to help you, or any yoga sambandh occurring in your chart is going to help you, or any Rashi Drishti is going to help you. But if I would give you one advice, what you have to be careful of is that see where your Mars is placed. Okay, wherever your Mars is placed, count 8 from it. Okay, wherever. Supposingly your Mars is placed in the 9th house. Okay, then you have to count 8 from it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now 8 comes in the 4th house. So you don't have to fight, get aggressive in your family, in your home, in your dining table. Okay. Now, if your Mars is, say, supposingly it is in 7th house, okay, then you can count 8 from it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 comes your second house, which is Dhanesh. You don't have to fight wherever you are earning money. You don't have to fight in your offices. You don't have to fight in places where money is stored, like banks and everywhere like that. Okay. So count from Mars 8 houses, and whatever the 8th house is, okay, at that place it is more likely for you to get into trouble. Okay, so take care in those aspects. The 8th house from your Mars, wherever your Mars is, okay, for Gemini ascendants. Now coming towards the 7th house. 7th house is about your spouse, partnerships, connections, relationships, everything. And over here it is 9th house, 9th zodiac, which is Sagittarius. Okay, Jupiter in the 7th house is very auspicious in terms of your spouse and relationships. Okay, so if your Jupiter is either placed good, it is Swagrahi, or except it is debilitated, your wife or your husband, whoever your spouse is, would be very, very, very lucky for you. Okay, very lucky for you. I would say choose a spouse which is having very good Jupiter placement in her or his chart. Because see, Jupiter in the 7th house is giving enormous luck, okay, and enormous fortune from the spouse itself. Okay, so if you have Jupiter in the 7th house, or if you have the zodiac of Jupiter in the 7th house, you should get married as soon as possible, and after your marriage your luck might increase, and your your spouse is going to be very lucky for you. Okay, only one thing which you must always take care is never disrespect your spouse. If you disrespect your spouse, you will have bad luck in your life. Okay, so if you want good luck in your life, never disrespect your spouse and get married as soon as possible. Okay, and you must also fast on Thursdays if you are having some Mangal dosh, or if you cannot marry, or if you have some problem in your marriage or something like that. If you fast on Thursdays, it is going to be very good for your marriage. Okay, and since if you are having any kind of relationship problems, increase your Rahu and decrease your Ketu, or you can wear a citrine gemstone in your wrist. Okay, in your wrist, kandama wrist ma citrine peri sako tame, or you can give Pukhraj to your spouse and she might wear it in the 3rd finger, ring finger. Okay, that is also good for you. If you are giving Pukhraj to your spouse, she must wear in the 3rd finger. If you are wearing citrine, you should wear in the wrist. Okay, but as I told you, for select a spouse which is going to have good Jupiter in her life or in his or her life, okay, then gift her Pukhraj, which is also very good. And until and unless you get a spouse, you wear citrine in your wrist. Okay, so 7th house is actually very good for you. In terms of communications and sexual issues, you might face some problems initially, but slowly and steadily as time passes and relationship grows, you would get more and more closer toward your loved one, and your hesitation, or I won't say hesitation, but sometimes you might have some problems related to sexual chemistry, which might get resolved from time to time in around 3 years or something like that. Okay, so hold your hands, clear out talks between you and your spouse, try to be communicative with each other and help each other in their bad times. Okay, you might also find your loved ones from institution or spiritual institution, ashram, colleges, schools. Okay, they might be some kind of teacher, spiritual guru, something like that. Okay, so these people are very lucky for you. Okay, now coming to the 8th house. Over here the 8th house is number 10, which is Capricorn. If 8th house is ruled by Saturn, or Saturn is placed in the 8th house, you naturally have a very long life until and unless your Saturn is debilitated. If your Saturn is not debilitated, you would be having a very long life. Okay, I would say if your Saturn is placed in the 8th house itself, you would live around 96 years. If your Saturn is placed not in 8th house, but it is placed anywhere else and not debilitated, okay, then you would live around 72 years or more. And if it is placed in Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, or any places which are friendly to Saturn, you might live around 84 years. Okay, so Capricorn being in the 8th house is very good for your long life. Okay, so if you have too many planets in the 6th house, and if you are wondering your enemies are being very troubleful, you are having some illness problems, okay, all those problems might subside if you just wear a Saturn stone in your hand, if your Saturn is not debilitated. If it is not debilitated, if it is giving good result, I would suggest that you should always wear a Saturn on your second finger. Okay, but if Saturn is debilitated, then you can go and wear Mercury. But again, if Saturn is not debilitated, I would suggest that don't look to any chart further and just wear Saturn for your good health, and it will also destroy your enemies. Okay. Since Capricorn is the good Swaghrih sign of Saturn. See, the Saturn in Aquarius and Saturn in Capricorn are very much distinctive and different. Saturn in Aquarius is not as good as Saturn in Capricorn. The Capricorn Saturn gives more beneficial result rather than Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn in Aquarius will give you strength to overcome any hurdle. It is going to give you all the hard working abilities. But Saturn in Capricorn is naturally going to give you fruits of your karma. Okay, so always do good karmas, and this placement is very good for your long life if your Saturn is not debilitated. Okay. Now, talking about the 9th house. Talking about the 9th house. The 9th house is of core values. It is also of religion. It is also of dharma. It is also somewhere related to your father. It is also your Guru Upadesh, where you take your ethics from. And over here it is Aquarius. Okay, so anything which is in Aquarius is something which you have to lose, which you kind of lose in your life. Okay, so it is very important to see that what you are losing in your life. You are losing your core values and ethics, which is not very good. You are losing your dharma. Okay, so if your Saturn is placed in a very good position, okay, then you might be saved. If any benefic planet is sitting in the 3rd house, then you might be saved. If your Saturn is malefic, you have to take care that your core values might diminish with long age. So you have to take care about your core values. You have to take care about your religious values, and I would suggest that to all these people who are Gemini ascendant, if your Saturn is not right, if your Saturn is not good, you should always worship Mahakali. Okay, worship Mahakali. If your Saturn is not good and you are a Gemini ascendant, always worship Mahakali, because Mahakali is the goddess of Saturn. And you should always wear a watch which is earned from your own money. Don't wear a watch which is gifted to you by anyone else. Okay, so be sure about it. Don't use anybody's watch, and take care about your core values, ethics. Don't be a liar, don't be a cheater. If you try to be a liar and a cheater, you would get same karma in this life itself. Okay, because if Saturn is the lord of your dharmasthana, okay, the problem over here is that if you do any kind of mishap in your life, you have to suffer in this life itself. Okay, until and unless Saturn is sitting in the Cancer zone. So take care about it. Don't be a demoral person. Always follow morality. Always have ethics. Always have core values. Never lie. Never cheat. And I must suggest, if your Jupiter is good and Saturn is also good, I would suggest you should wear a kyanite stone. if your Saturn is good and Jupiter is debilitated, I would still suggest you to wear a kyanite stone. If both of them are debilitated, then please don't wear it. Then we'll find out some different remedy. But overall, this placement is also good and also bad. So if your Saturn is very good, okay, then you would be a spiritually inclined person, and with a spiritual inclination you will also do good karmas, you will do charities, you will help people, you would serve in hospitals also, you would do cleaning also. So one more remedy I might give you if you have debilitated Saturn is go and clean temples. Okay, go and clean temples. Wherever you see small temples, you have to go there and clean temples. Okay. Apart from that, I would suggest your 9th house Lord Saturn is just be clean, have a bath 2 times a day, and don't keep your hairs dirty. Don't keep internal hairs in your body, and use sandalwood soap. Or if your Venus is also good, you should wash your face with rose water. Okay, and you should also donate water to other people. Okay, that is also a very good remedy. Okay, donate water to other people. This was your 9th house. 9th house is all about your religious beliefs, your core values. Okay, so again, it is a reason of speculation that whether it is going to be good result or a bad result, but I guess it is a neutral aspect for all the Gemini ascendants. Now, coming towards the 10th house. 10th house is Pisces over here, which is ruled by Jupiter. So, what you are seeking from society is respect. You cannot love. You need respect from society more than love. Okay. So you should always take care that what you are seeking, you should always give people what you are seeking. Okay. So if you are seeking respect from the society, you should always give respect in the society. So the first thing I would suggest to everyone with Gemini ascendant is always respect everyone in the society. Don't be disrespectful to small people like security guards, poor people, sellers or vendors, all small peoples, cleaners, sweepers. You should be respectable towards them. Don't shout on them. Okay, don't be like don't put your authority on the small people that okay, I am something and you are nothing in life. Don't do this kind of things. Always be polite and sweet towards small people and those who are in lower class in the society. Okay, so respect all the lower class society people. That is going to help you very much in life. Okay, and give respect to everyone in the society. The moment you start with disrespect in the society, you would be getting disrespect. So over here you must be careful about one thing is that you must always give respect to the society, no matter the person is from high class, medium class or lower class. Especially all the lower class people, you should always respect them. Okay, this is going to enrich your good luck, your luck from the society, your career luck. Okay, and especially your income, your gains, they are going to increase if you respect people in the society. If you don't respect people in the society, if you spread disrespect, if you don't talk politely, okay, you would have troubles and you would have backbiting, backstabbers and everything in your life. So first and foremost, always give respect to everyone in the society. No matter the person is a very small person, a cleaner or sweeper, whoever it is. Okay, just give respect to people. Then you can also work in some schools, colleges. You can also open some stationery shop or anything which is related to books. Library is a very good place for you to think. You should always visit a library on your Ishta Devata, whoever your Ishta Devata is. See which Lord is represent. See on which day the Lord is there, and on that day you should always visit a library. Okay, so going to library is also going to give you a massive amount of career luck. Okay, so if you want to think anything about your business, if you want to think anything about a problem which you have to solve in your job, if you have to think anything about your society and relatives, not relatives, but your social connections and everything like that, you can go to a library and think on it. Okay, books are also very good. You should also donate books, written books, to people and students which are willing to learn. Okay, try to donate books to students who cannot afford books. Okay, that is also very good in terms of your luck, because Pisces naturally is about giving knowledge, guidance. Okay, so it is also important that you guide people who are in trouble. If you guide people who are in trouble in the society, you will always get help when you are in trouble. Okay, so if you want help when you are in trouble, always guide people in the society. The more you guide people in the society, the more help and aid you will get from the society itself. Okay, always guide people in the society. Now coming to the 11th house. Over here 11th house is Aries. The lord of Aries is Mars. So first advice I would give you that if you want to increase your gains, go and donate blood. The more blood you will donate, the more gains and fortunate you will become. Okay, and second advice is don't pollute your blood. Okay, don't pollute your bloodstream. Don't seek drugs, or don't eat too many sweets. Okay, because then you will get diabetes. Eat more jaggery, eat more beets. Okay, so take care about your red blood cells, your blood. Okay, increase your vitality. Take some supplements, which is very good for you. The moment your blood is purified, you will have gains in your life. Okay, you should have more hemoglobin in your blood. Okay, so these things are very good for you. Always take care about your Mars. Now this gains is also related to your Mars. Okay, so if you be an advocate or a doctor, I would say these two professions are very good for a Gemini ascendant. Why? Because it is also going to nullify the 6th house, and you will also gain from the 11th house itself. You can also be an army man, but that is again a dangerous job for you. Otherwise, if you don't want to be in danger, the two best jobs for you is either you be a doctor, a surgeon, or you be a advocate or someone in court and law. You should study law also if you want to study law. So these two are some criteria which is always open for you, which is always open for Gemini ascendants. So take care about it and see if you have some hand over there. Go to that section in your career, and it is going to give you a very big boost. Okay. So that was the 11th house of gain. I won't talk so much about the 11th house of gain, because since Mars is over here, again the placement of Mars is very much important to see how the 11th house is going to give you gain. And Aries ascendant is, again I told you, the more blood you donate, the more fortune you will increase. Okay. Now we are going to talk about the 12th house, which is of expenditures, charity, spirituality, loss, and everything like that. Okay. So over here the 12th house is Taurus. So first of all, you would like to expand and spend more money in your luxury with your spouse, in hotels, restaurants, motels, every place is of luxuries. Okay, so you would like to spend more money in all the luxurious items. You would like to spend money in with your spouse. Okay, you might also be fond of all types of passionate physical intimacy stuff, since it is lord by Venus. Okay, so all kinds of accessories for physical intimacy might also be pulling your attention. Talking about the spiritual aspect, you might be meditation and yoga might help you. If you are into meditation, it is very good for you to meditate. If you are meditating daily, it is very good for you. Since you are also a Gemini ascendant ruled by Mercury, meditation is the best remedy for everything. Okay, but the one problem is having Venus in the 12th house, or Venus Lord and sign in the 12th house, is you might attract people who are cheaters. You might attract people who are not loyal in your life, who like to have sexual plurality, they like to have sex with too many people. You might also attract people who like your luxury, who would admire your emotions, who would take and inhale your emotions and won't disrespect and won't respect and reciprocate your emotions. So these are some problems when you are selecting your spouse. Okay, so whenever you select your spouse, don't select spouse who is reciprocating so much of emotions to you suddenly. You should always speculate a relationship for around 1 year and then plan to get married. So see, people with two-faced people, take care about two-faced lovers in your life. That is all I am saying. And you might also spend so much money in some kind of alcohol or cigarettes, something like that. So if your Rahu is not placed right, if your Rahu is placed right, you won't spend money on those items. But if your Rahu is not good, it is small probability that you might have some negative addictions on which your money is going. But overall, it is good. I won't say it is bad, because if Venus is in 12th house, it is also giving you luxury, and it is more likely to give you a lot of crushes, a lot of lot of relationships in your life, a lot of physical intimacy stuff, which is very good. And just take care that Venus is not debilitated. If Venus is debilitated, then you will face some problems regarding your spouse, regarding your love life, regarding your relationships. If Venus is not debilitated, you won't face some issues. So if and only if Venus is debilitated, we have to speculate about this 12th house. If Venus is not debilitated, we will focus on the Libra Venus and will increase the Venus, and automatically you will have luxury in your life and a good spouse in your life. But if Venus is debilitated, then we have to see whether Jupiter is giving Ishta or Kashta. Then we have to see the Shadbala, we have to see the mood of the planets, everything else, if and only if Venus is debilitated. If Venus is not debilitated, I would suggest that you can also wear Venus or opal or diamond in your neck, which is very good for you. You can also wear diamond in your little finger, which is also very good for you. Okay, but if you want to increase the 5th house Venus, wear it in the right hand. If you want to increase the 12th house Venus, wear it in the left hand. For male, for female, reverse the thing. Otherwise, I would say in terms of spirituality, it is very good if you meditate daily. In terms of loss, you have to take care that you don't spend too much money in your luxury things, like booking a very luxurious hotel, eating food in a 5-star hotel, even when you don't have too much of money. Okay, so take in consideration of restricting your hand. Okay, otherwise you will be a very spendthrift person. So that is also one thing you might take care of. Talking about loss and charity, you would have loss from some women who is trying to emotionally harm you, or which is draining your wealth. Otherwise, talking about charity, it is very good if you donate some kind of cosmetics, soaps. Okay, so try donating some cosmetics and you will decrease your expenditure. Okay. So this was Gemini Ascendant, and literally my head is throbbing right now because I have too much of tonsils and everything like that for 2 to 3 days. It was just today was my schedule to do one video, and I had to do one video, otherwise I would not respect my schedule, and I don't like to do that, so I had to make a video. So today's video might not be too long, but it is, I think, almost whatever information I had to give, I gave. For any doubts, ladies, you can get into comment zone or log on to www.vedicvedanta.com or get into comment zone. I am always there to help. And thank you very much. We will come back in the next video of Cancer. Till then, take care of yourself, and I have to take care of myself. Bad health, but nothing to take serious of kind. Thank you very much for joining Vedic Vedanta, and we'll come back and stay smiling.